Welcome back everyone to my channel, where we're always seeking the most authentic perspectives on life, health, and happiness. Have you ever thought that, as you enter midlife, roughly from 40 to 65 years old, everything seems to start slowing down, with physical, psychological, and relational changes that leave you feeling confused, or even anxious? And among these changes, there's one aspect that few dare to openly discuss. Yet it's incredibly vital for the happiness and intimacy of couples: midlife sex. We often hear a lot about sex in youth, with its explosion of energy and exploration. But it seems that as we enter midlife, this topic becomes more discreet, less talked about, and even misunderstood. However, this is absolutely not true. Sex isn't just for the young. It's a natural and essential part of human life at all ages, bringing numerous benefits to physical and mental health, and emotional connection. According to a survey by the University of Chicago, USA, nearly 70% of adults aged 57 to 85 are still sexually active, and a significant proportion of them report maintaining a satisfying sex life. This indicates that, despite changes, sex continues to play an important role in our lives. So, what truly happens to our sex lives as we enter midlife? Which changes are natural and which need attention? How can we not only accept but adapt and even enhance the quality of our sex lives during this period, so that it remains a source of happiness and deep connection for couples? That's precisely the topic we'll explore openly, in detail, and scientifically in today's lengthy discussion, with concrete examples, reliable statistics, and practical advice. I believe this video will provide you with a lot of useful information. No matter your age, let's cast aside prejudices and dive into the fascinating world of midlife sex. Part 1. The uninvited changes, understanding them to avoid panic. When it comes to midlife sex, the most important thing is to understand that changes are completely natural and unavoidable. Just like graying hair or developing wrinkles, our bodies, including the reproductive system, undergo transformations due to the aging process and hormonal shifts. Understanding these changes will help us avoid panic or self-consciousness, and instead find ways to adapt and improve. 1. Hormonal changes. The main culprit of fluctuations. Specific action. Both men and women experience hormonal changes as they enter midlife. For women, this is the premenopausal and menopausal phase, characterized by a significant decline in estrogen and progesterone hormones. For men, it's the process of andropause, or male menopause, with a gradual decrease in testosterone levels. Learn about these hormonal changes. Listen to your body, and don't hesitate to consult a doctor if you feel concerned. Why this is important? Estrogen in women plays a crucial role in maintaining vaginal moisture and elasticity. A decrease in estrogen can lead to vaginal dryness, painful intercourse, and reduced libido. For men, testosterone directly affects sexual desire, erectile function, and overall energy. A decline in testosterone can cause reduced libido, erectile dysfunction, and fatigue. A study by the North American Menopause Society, NAMS, indicates that approximately 50 to 70% of postmenopausal women experience sexual problems due to vaginal dryness and painful intercourse. For men, the American Urological Association estimates that up to 50% of men over 40 experience some degree of erectile dysfunction. For example, a middle-aged couple, the wife started experiencing painful intercourse, causing her to avoid it. After researching and seeing a doctor, she understood it was due to vaginal dryness from menopause, and received appropriate advice, significantly improving their sex life. Concrete example. For women, symptoms like vaginal dryness, decreased libido, and difficulty reaching orgasm may appear. For men, it could be reduced libido, difficulty achieving or maintaining an erection, or decreased intensity of orgasm. An older saying goes, "Youth does not wait for old age," indicating the natural changes of the body over time. Advice: don't self-diagnose or self-treat. Seek a doctor for accurate diagnosis and advice on suitable therapies like hormone replacement therapy, HRT, lubricants, or erectile dysfunction medication. For men, note: hormone replacement therapy should be prescribed and closely monitored by a specialist due to potential side effects or contraindications for certain medical conditions, e.g. breast cancer. History of blood clots. 2. Physical changes. The battle with health and energy. Specific action. Besides hormonal changes, overall health issues like cardiovascular disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, obesity, and the use of certain medications, e.g. antidepressants, blood pressure medication, can also affect sex life. Actively take care of your overall health with a healthy diet, regular exercise, and control chronic conditions. Why this is important: physical health is the foundation of a healthy sex life. For example, cardiovascular disease can affect blood circulation, making it difficult for men to achieve erections and reducing sensitivity in women. Diabetes can cause nerve damage, affecting sensation and sexual function. A study by the American Heart Association shows that erectile dysfunction is often an early sign of underlying heart disease. For example, a middle-aged man started experiencing erectile problems. He saw a doctor and found he was at risk for heart disease. As a result, he changed his lifestyle, ate healthier, and exercised, which not only improved his health but also his sex life. Concrete example: joint pain due to arthritis can make some positions uncomfortable, and fatigue from work stress can reduce libido. Advice: maintain an active lifestyle. Eat plenty of green vegetables, fruits, and whole grains. Limit processed foods, sugar, and unhealthy fats. Get regular health checkups to detect and treat medical conditions early. If you are taking medication, ask your doctor about potential side effects on your sex life. 3. Psychological and emotional changes. When mental illness affects physical illness. Specific action: work pressure, financial burdens, family responsibilities, caring for teenage children or elderly parents. All these can cause stress, anxiety, depression, and severely affect sexual desire. Identify these pressures. Seek effective stress management methods like meditation, yoga, exercise, or seek professional psychological help if needed. Why this is important: mood and emotions play a huge role in sexual desire and satisfaction. Stress and anxiety can reduce libido, make it difficult to achieve orgasm, or even cause painful intercourse. Depression particularly affects libido and the ability to feel pleasure. A study by the University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA, indicates a strong link between stress and sexual dysfunction. For example, a middle-aged woman felt exhausted from working, caring for young children, and worrying about her ailing elderly mother. She had no libido left. After seeking psychological help and learning stress management techniques, she gradually regained her energy and desire. Concrete example: feelings of self-consciousness about appearance due to aging, boredom in a long-term relationship, or fear of no longer being attractive to a partner. Advice: take time for yourself. Do things you love to reduce stress. Share your feelings and worries with your partner. And don't hesitate to seek help from a mental health professional if you feel overwhelmed. Understanding the hormonal, physical, and psychological changes in midlife is the first step to proactively confronting and improving your sex life. Part 2. Breaking down invisible barriers, improving your sex life. Now that we understand the natural changes, it's time to delve into the secrets, the specific actions to break down invisible barriers and elevate the quality of midlife sex. Turning challenges into opportunities to explore new facets of intimacy and connection. 1. Open and honest communication. The golden key to all relationships. Specific action. This is the most important thing. Don't be afraid to talk frankly with your partner about the changes you're experiencing. Your feelings, desires, and even your worries. Listen to your partner actively and without judgment. Why this is important: silence and shyness only make things worse. When both sides don't communicate, they easily fall into misunderstandings, distance, or even blaming each other. Open communication helps both understand each other's needs, desires, and difficulties better, and thus find solutions together. A study by the Kinsey Institute, USA, shows that communication quality is the strongest predictor of sexual satisfaction in long-term relationships. For example, a middle-aged couple married for 20 years. The husband felt his wife no longer had libido, while the wife was reluctant to talk about her vaginal dryness and painful intercourse. After counseling, they decided to sit down and talk openly. And from there, all misunderstandings were resolved, and they worked together to overcome the issues. Concrete example. Start by saying simple phrases like, "I've been feeling some changes in my body lately, and that sometimes affects how I feel about intimacy. Would you like to talk about it?" Or, "Let's try something new to make our sex life more exciting." An elder's saying goes, "Words cost nothing, but choose them wisely to please others," highlighting the importance of skillful and sincere communication. Advice: choose a quiet, private time and place to talk. Avoid blaming or criticizing. Instead, focus on the feelings and needs of both. 2. Explore and experiment with new things, refreshing your sex life. Specific action. Midlife doesn't mean the end of exploration. On the contrary, it can be an opportunity for you and your partner to experiment with new things. Going beyond old patterns. Read books about sex together. Watch educational videos, or simply talk about each other's fantasies and unspoken desires. Why this is important? Boredom is the biggest enemy of a long-term sex life. As we age, rekindling interest and curiosity is crucial. Experimenting with new things can include exploring sex toys, new positions, new locations, or focusing on non-intercourse intimacy like massage, caressing, and cuddling. A study by Indiana University, USA, shows that couples who frequently try new things in their sex life tend to have higher levels of satisfaction. For example, a middle-aged couple felt their sex life had become monotonous. After researching a few articles, they decided to try some new sex toys and explore positions they had never tried before. This brought a breath of fresh air into their relationship. Concrete example. Don't just focus on intercourse. Explore caressing, massage, oral sex, or longer and more creative foreplay. Go on a romantic getaway together. Or simply create a special evening just for the two of you. Advice: start small and gradually expand. The most important thing is mutual consent and comfort. Don't pressure your partner to try things they don't want to. 3. Take care of physical and mental health, the foundation of sexual happiness. Specific action. Maintain a healthy lifestyle with a balanced diet, regular exercise, sufficient sleep, and effective stress management. This isn't just general health advice, it's a key factor for a fulfilling sex life. Why this is important? As mentioned earlier, overall health directly impacts sexual function. When the body is healthy, energy is abundant, the mind is at ease. Libido and sexual activity also improve. A study in the Journal of Sexual Medicine shows that regular exercise can improve erectile function in men and increase libido in women. For example, a middle-aged man who used to have a sedentary lifestyle and an unhealthy diet often felt tired and had reduced libido. After starting regular gym sessions 3 times a week and adjusting his diet, he not only lost weight but also saw a significant improvement in his libido and overall energy. Concrete example: practice yoga or meditation to reduce stress. Take a brisk 30-minute walk daily to improve blood circulation. Eat more zinc-rich foods, seafood, pumpkin seeds, and vitamin D, fatty fish, mushrooms, to support hormones. Advice: never underestimate the role of sleep and stress reduction. They are silent, but extremely powerful factors in improving your sex life. Note: individuals with underlying medical conditions should consult a doctor or nutritionist about appropriate diet and exercise routines. 4. Seek professional support. When to knock on a doctor's, specialist's door. Specific action. Don't hesitate to seek a specialist, andrologist, gynecologist, endocrinologist, or a psychologist, sex therapist if you and your partner are experiencing persistent problems that you cannot resolve on your own. Why this is important? Many sexual problems in midlife have medical or psychological causes that require specialized diagnosis and treatment. Delaying seeking help only makes the problem worse and affects the quality of the relationship. Professionals can provide personalized advice, treatment therapies, or techniques that you cannot learn on your own. According to a survey by the American Sexual Health Association, many Americans feel embarrassed to talk to their doctors about sexual problems. But those who overcome that barrier often achieve positive results. For example, a middle-aged woman experienced persistent painful intercourse. After seeing a gynecologist, she was diagnosed with a treatable medical condition. And as a result, she regained joy in her sex life. Concrete example: if you experience severe erectile dysfunction, persistent vaginal dryness that doesn't improve, sudden decrease in libido, or prolonged depression, anxiety related to your sex life, seek help. Advice: prepare your questions in advance and describe your symptoms in detail so that the doctor, specialist can make a more accurate diagnosis. Remember, seeking help is a courageous and responsible act for your own health and happiness. 5. Nurture romance and non-sexual intimacy, enhancing emotional connection. Specific action. Sex isn't just a physical act, it's also a deep emotional connection. Take time to nurture romance and non-sexual intimacy in your relationship. This can be small gestures like holding hands, hugging, exchanging loving words, spending quality time alone together, going for walks, having romantic dinners, or simply watching a movie together. Why this is important? As the body undergoes changes, focusing on emotional connection and other forms of intimacy becomes more important than ever. Romance helps maintain the flame of love. Non-sexual intimacy enhances bonding and trust, which can then improve overall libido and sexual satisfaction. A study by the University of California, Berkeley, shows that relationship satisfaction is closely linked to sexual satisfaction. For example, a middle-aged couple realized they had been too busy with work and children and had forgotten to spend time together. They started having weekly, date nights, cooking together, listening to music, and talking without the distraction of technology. This helped them feel much closer, and their sex life also became more fulfilling. Concrete example: write a love letter to your partner. Spend a weekend morning having coffee and talking together. Pursue a shared hobby, or simply take 5 minutes each evening to hug tightly and say, "I love you." Advice: don't wait for your partner to initiate. Proactively express your romance and intimacy. Remember, love and connection are timeless in any stage of life. Breaking down barriers and actively applying these secrets will help you and your partner not only maintain but also elevate the quality of your midlife sex life, turning it into a meaningful journey of discovery and connection. Like a river, love and sex also need to be unblocked and nurtured to flow strongly and bring freshness. I hope that today's in-depth discussion on midlife sex has provided you with useful information and fresh perspectives. Remember, changes are natural, but how we face and adapt to them is what truly matters. Sex is not just a physical act, but also an intertwining of emotions, trust, and deep connection between two souls. Be bold in talking, exploring, and loving yourself as well as your partner. If you found this video helpful and valuable, don't forget to hit the like button and share it with your friends and loved ones, those who you think might also need this advice. And now, I'd love to hear your thoughts, experiences, or any questions you have about this topic. Have you experienced any changes in your midlife sex life? Do you have any secrets you'd like to share to help others? Or are you facing any difficulties? Please leave a comment below this video. Let's create an open and safe space to share, learn, and grow together. Finally, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on other exciting and helpful content in the future. We'll have many more fascinating topics to explore together. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Midlife sex: exploring changes.